I didn't think I would want to make a follow-up video to my Oshinoko mid-season review, but with the way things developed in the second half of the season, some reevaluation is due. So here we are. I'm Fate and you're watching Tiny Wave TV. At the time that the mid-season video came out, we were 5 episodes in, right at the very beginning of the dating reality show arc. At that point, the anime was yet to present any development that could stand up to the first episode. That was one of the things that I talked about in the other video. Episode 1 was too good, but then episode 7 happened. I was like, girl, now we're talking. I was excited to see where this new development would take us. Aqua too looked excited to see Ai from Akane's point of view, I guess, and get all the info she could give. But then we just dropped all of that and turned toward Kana and Bikomachi and the first concert arc.
What?
Don't get me wrong though, I love my girls. But did they just leave the hype of that fantastic moment, the reincarnation of Ai, to die down just like that? Well, I don't know about you guys, but that looked like a missed opportunity to me. In a way, it makes sense though. I'ma tell you why. If you noticed, I've been using the word arc. When I was making my other video, I hadn't really grasped the narrative structure of this anime, and I had some opinions about it, which I will address in a bit. But this is how the story is told, arc by arc, and every arc has its own climax, like in a 3-act structure kind of thing. That Ai Akane moment was the climax of that particular arc, for example. It's basically like we're taking detours with these story arcs. Things happen, we get to know some characters, and we find a clue relating to the main storyline. That looks nice in theory, but in practice, I don't think so. There's this choppy quality to the flow of the narrative, if that makes sense. Thankfully, someone has put it into words better than I did. These hype moments, like the one that we were talking about, just come and go without really leading us anywhere. You know what I want? Meaningful and smooth transitions. Things blending with each other is what I'm asking for. Now, we might just be at the tip of the iceberg with this story. Maybe the next seasons will transform the way I look at the events of season 1. But right now, it's safe to say that we're dealing with more of a mix here rather than a blend. You know, like salad. You see the ingredients chopped up and mixed, but if you put the salad in a blender... That was a silly example, but you get what I mean. I praised the anime before because it's detailed and intentional with the effects it wants to create, and I stand by that. But I also think that when you throw a bunch of themes and concepts and tropes into a story, when you add a bunch of subplots, the whole thing becomes tricky to handle, to say the least. It might end up looking like salad. Sorry, I had to. Also have to take back what I said about narrative in the other video. I said they could spice the narrative up, add some non-linearity to it by starting in the middle. Now I don't think it would work for Oshinoko. With the story being complicated as it is, all the stuff that's going on, all the themes it's trying to explore, and the tropes it wants to include, maybe keeping the narrative straightforward is after all the way to go. With all of that said, I like this story. I enjoyed it. I'm invested in the characters, even those who kinda disappeared, but can't help loving it when the writers present their stories in a way that is interesting. Like the narrative itself is something to enjoy. Overall, Oshinoko Season 1 painted a busy picture. Narrative wasn't always killing it, and certain elements didn't quite blend in. The following seasons might change that, but as things stand now, these are my thoughts. Love me a well-written story, but you know what I like even better? Finding details that I hadn't thought of or a new perspective in you guys' comments. So feel free to share your thoughts and see you next time.